It's mail day, everybody. I got a couple Critical Role decks and I got a couple of packs. The invoice said 3. I don't know if other creators have been opening 3 packs, but I only got 2 in my box, but that's okay. I'm not complaining about free packs to open for you guys. So very excited for these. Really quick, I do want to mention Ace Arena, Saturday, March 8th. If you're not signed up already, 32 player cap. You only got to win 4 games and you get a booster box of Critical Role. Very cool. If you win 3 games, you win 20 bucks. So very easy stuff. It is single elimination on TTS, so full access to all the cards very quick. And if you lose one round, it's not going to take up your whole Saturday. So very big thank you to Cryptid Gaming for doubling the prize pool, adding a box to that. So it's going to be a good time. I'm going to be casting it with Brian Garza from Response on Play. If you guys haven't caught those podcasts, they upload usually on Mondays. They've been cranking out the content, so a lot of really cool stuff happening in the community this weekend. Brian Garza also, you might remember from Worlds. He played King Ghidorah. I believe he was top 32. I think he got in on the LCQ. So either way, you might recognize the name and the face. So very cool dude. Gonna have a lot of fun this weekend. But let's jump into these Critical Role decks and packs. We're gonna start with Beau Lionette, I believe is the name. Very interesting about Beau, in my opinion at least. Beau has the spy trait, and we've seen thief, but I don't think we've seen anything for spies. So I'm really curious. I have to assume that in an upcoming future Critical Role product, that will be relevant in some way. So we got the Beau deck here. You also get a little QR code to learn how to play the game. Very cool stuff. Shows you how to sign up for the UGN. Shows you how to get involved at your local Play Store. Start earning loyalty points, things like that. And then comes with a it smells nice. I don't know how else to put it. It's very rare I open up a product and the smell of paper is nice, but the product smells good. So I don't know if they did something special. They got those fresh cut grass promos, but this smells like perfumed in some way. So I don't know about that, but here we've got the a little how to play pamphlet on one side. It's the quick start guide. I just realized my camera is mirrored, so you can't read any of this, but it's fine. You weren't going to be able to read all of this just from this screen alone anyways, unless you're like crazy with some massive HD projector on your wall. But anyways, it's got a quick play guide, quick start guide, and then on the back it has the exact same mat from the quick start guide. So everything you see in the quick start guide, it has little visuals, little pictures. It shows you playing on exactly this little mat. So it has a health tracker at the top. It's got your card pool, which tells you the plus progressive difficulty. So when you play your first card, it's +0. It's just the difficulty of the card. And then the next one you play is +1. And the only bad thing about these, the only thing I don't like about these play mats is as soon as players clear their card pool, they start to get confused about where stuff is. So I have seen the plus numbers get a little funky, but I think they're a great idea. I think they make it a lot easier for people who are just learning the game and they just go, I just have to add this number to the top. Maybe put it at the top left. Maybe put the progressive difficulty near where the, I don't know. I'm nitpicking. This is cool. This is very cool. You got the Vox Machina and the Mighty 9 symbols. Very cool stuff. Shows you how to layer your momentum and things like that. I'm digging it. I'm a big fan. Notably, the health tracker goes up to 32, which is kind of funny. If Godzilla decks had these, they would obviously have to number it a bit higher, so maybe we'll see health totals come down. But either way, I have been the most excited for Critical Role, unabashedly more than any other set. So much that I'm afraid to like actually watch this show all the way through. I'm afraid that, like, what if I don't like it? After being so excited for the cards, I'm afraid, what if I end up not liking the Vox Machina cartoon, you know? And I've tried many times to watch the gameplay sessions, you know, because it feels like that's where the real magic of Critical Role is. The real magic seems to be in getting to know the players as much as the characters and see their enjoyment and things like that. You know, that's really what adds to it, seeing the dice rolls and such. So we'll see how it goes. But either way, one of the big reasons I've been so excited for this set is because the art and the foiling is just top notch. Finally hitting, I feel like they finally hit their stride recently, after Attack on Titan, but with Critical Role they've just taken it to another level. The the full arts look so nice. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about it other than it's just so sick to see the art quality like really come up, right? So 622, there's very easy, very simple experience for these starter decks. These are starter products. So there is a Beauregard Lionette, and there is a Percival in the main set, right? And they're just a little more adapted to constructed play. But we've got Beauregard Lionette, 622, Brawler, Mighty Nine, Spy, Enhance, Commit, add one attack with 3 difficulty from your discard pile to your hand. Your attack gets +3 damage. So 3 difficulty moves, probably not high damage, so it's cool that we're going to buff that up. And then we're going to get a free attack every turn. We can also do this on our rival's turn to get a free block. So very strong stuff there from the starter deck character. Here's Shoulder Toss, Stun 1 throw, 1 mid for 5. Brawler Blitz, it gets slammed, so that's important for the other Beauregard I was talking about who wants specific keywords on her attacks. And then we've got after this attack deals damage, response. After this attack deals less than printed damage, draw 1 card and ready 1 foundation that hasn't been readied this combat phase. So really punishing you for blocking this attack. Beauregard is going to add 3 damage to this and make it 8 damage. So if you block, it's 4. That's perfect math to get the maximum amount of damage and still get the response. Just 1 less damage dealt than if you did absolutely nothing. So that's going to make a lot of sense. You get 2 of those. We've also got Peerless Footwork. And I don't know if I'm doing any justice with my lighting and my focus here, but the foil is bright. The foil is popping off. There's a lot of bright silver foil lines as well. So Peerless Footwork, 3/5 +2 mid block. Enhance your kick, punch, and or slam attack gets +1 damage. Brawler enhance this attack with difficulty 4 or less gets -1 speed. So Lionette, obviously a brawler, so a repeatable -1 speed on the majority of attacks that you're probably expecting to see get played against you is really strong and really nice. One thing I do have to point out, in case you guys did notice it, is we do have a shim line on our Peerless Footwork here, but it's not on the other copy. So it's not going to be all of the foils, but it has been a pretty consistent thing. It looks like there's one on the shoulder toss as well. So one of the 2 shoulder tosses. I didn't even notice it at first. If I'm being truly honest, I did not notice it on the shoulder toss, but I did on the Peerless Footwork. So I don't hate the shim line stuff as much as a lot of other people do, but it is something that has been consistent with the product. So as far as a product review goes, that might be something that if you are a collector who is looking for shim lines, because some people do seek that out, or if you're someone who really doesn't like them, you can probably find lots of people willing to trade copies around. Starter deck card for a starter deck card. So, people who want them can get them. People who don't haven't had an issue getting copies that that don't have the shim line. You just might have to ask around and do a trade or two, but not the biggest deal in the world, but it has been in the product. But we got 2 quest board, so there's going to be some backups, you have to assume, right? We're going to see some backups later. It's a 0/4 asset. You have to remove it and commit a foundation. Then you just get to build a party backup with difficulty 3 or less. So a couple of restrictions there, but a simple effect. They really brought the adventuring party theme home with this one, which I think is very cool. So you get to build up a party full of all the different class types. They in turn give your character the trait of that class, allowing you to access their specific abilities. Very cool, very flavorful. A great way to use the backup card type. Furious Charge is a breaker, or sorry, deflect 2 move. Charge Fury Punch. If you have a weapon, it also becomes a weapon. A little simple 3 difficulty, 3 mid 3. You get 4 of those. Great Axe Chop. You get 3 of these. 5 high 7 Fury Weapon. EX3, another real simple one. A great attack to put your 3 damage on. It's high zone, fast speed already, but once you have some momentum to cash in on it, making this an 11 high for 10 is pretty unblockable. Pretty guaranteed damage. Heavy Kick. After this attack is blocked, ready a foundation. 4 mid for 9. Your opponent's going to want to block this pretty much every time. Predator's Pounce. So you only get 2 of these, but it's a 5 high for 5 that after it deals damage, your rival has to flip a foundation. So they're going to lose the effects of that foundation in their stage. Probably more important for Wardens, but, you know, also something that can be annoying to deal with if you don't block any of them. We got Staff Crack, another 3 diff you can pick up with Beauregard here. Commit a foundation, your slam and or weapon attacks. Get +1 damage this turn. So you can turn it into a 4 diff that buffs everything. You know, it buffs itself too. So it'll be a 3 high for 4 with committing an extra foundation. Not too bad. Upward Disarming Swing, a 4 low for 4 with stun 1. After this attack deals damage, you get to destroy an asset. Makes sense. You disarm them of their item. So, I mean, in the art, he's disarming him of his arm, but, you know, that's the joke, I guess. You can't use a sword without the arm, right? Spiraling Fetch is the backup here. Is there any other backups? I talk about them all at once. No, okay. So Spiraling Fetch is the backup you get here. He's also a thief, or he's a thief in Beauregard's a spy, like we talked about. So I've seen thief, haven't seen anything for spies, but while he's in your stage, you become a thief. Your character is a thief, so you get essentially you just get to use thief locked abilities. So this attack gets +2 speed. Remove the top card of your rival's deck. This one's been pretty strong and constructed so far with the testing we've done. This one, yeah, Spiraling Fetch has been showing up in a lot of decks. It was really strong at the pre-release too, so watch out for this guy. He's sneaky. 1-5 a day for relaxing. Beautiful art here, by the way. Let's just bring this one front and center because some of the art really just is fantastic. Can we get a focus? No. Almost there. Man, I promise before I record these, I test the focus and it works. And then, all right. Yeah, the art on this, very, 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 very stylish, very fancy. Huge fan of this one. It's a really simple effect though. You give an attack -2 speed, and then if you have a Fury of Kick in your card pool, it gets -3 instead. So a lot of these attacks have a ton of keywords on them. You know, and it seeks to fuel a lot of different strategies you might have outside of the starter deck. So they give you a good baseline regardless of which deck you actually end up wanting to build. Combat evaluation. Enhance, commit, flip. Ready 1 foundation has not been raided this combat phase. You get to double dip on a more important foundation, maybe something like Everlight's Grace. You get 4 of this one. It's a 4 check, but after you take damage from an unblocked attack, you mill 2, and you add 1 of the milled cards to hand. So a little bit of card advantage in a weird way. More selective than just drawing a card, but not by much. Martial Prowess. Response once per turn. Tenacious. After you take damage from an attack, ready this card. So Tenacious just means you can play it while it's committed, while it's tapped, while it's sideways, and normally you can't use abilities. And of course, if you want to ready it, it has to be playable while it's committed. So that's Tenacious. Mystic Recovery. We get 4 of this one. This one's really weird. If you don't attack at the end of your combat phase, you can respond and you gain 3 health, ready 3 foundations, and add 3 cards from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck. I thought it was shuffle. I was shuffling them at pre-release. That's my bad. But it's a lot of text on this card. But yeah, so you just get to stack the bottom of your deck so you can set up like late game strategies. Mostly it's just like an anti-mill card when games are stalling out, but you might see some strategies that are focused around using that card in like a combo way. 4 Radiant Visage, a very easy, simple effect. Flip this card, mill 3 off the top of your deck. Your rival spends a momentum so they can't use it for other things. Strong Windup, you get 3 of this. It's a 3/5 Response remove after you make a check to play a card printed 6 difficulty or greater. Your check gets +3. So this one's really cool because it helps you block. I think that's actually low key the best way to use this card. Is a lot of the high difficulty cards have good block modifiers. So you might not be playing it on a 6, 7, 8, but you can still get +3 to your check, making for a pretty guaranteed experience. Subdual technique. Response flip. After your attack deals damage, freeze one rival foundation. Very simple, effective, easy way to keep your opponent locked down after you stun them out. Freeze means that their foundation doesn't get to ready on the next turn, effectively slowing them down by a whole turn to skip a ready step. We have Swift Change, 1/5 Tenacious Flip. This attack gets -1 speed and -1 damage, so versatile for a 1 diff. Not a huge impact, but playable while committed means that it is versatile. So sometimes while you have a committed foundation flip for -1 speed, that's a really good return. -1 damage might save you every now and then as well, or if you're going for a partial block, that can reset the math to be in your favor. So probably an underrated 1 diff, but I wouldn't be surprised not to see it in constructed play. Next, let's do the Percy deck. He's got a long name. I can never remember the name. It's like Rollo de Percival the Third something. There's like one word I always forget. So you get the same mat. We don't got to see it again. You get the same QR codes, of course. You get like the same quick start guide in mat. And oh my goodness, look at this art. Percival de Rollo the Third, Pepperbox Sharpshooter. That is sick. It's so good. I kind of wish that the starter deck art was like the alt art for the main set character. All right. So let's go through the Percival deck here. Percival has a 622 as well, so you get like a balanced experience between the two characters. Gosh, look at that. He's an inventor and pact bound, so you get some sciency synergies, and you get some synergies with pact bound cards, which I assume are people who have made a pact with a greater being to give them some additional benefits. There's not a lot of pact bound in this set. I think there's only 2. Enhance, remove 1 card from your discard pile. This attack gets +1 or -1 speed. So while it doesn't sound as flashy as Beauregard at first, this is doable on every single attack. And there are some really nice synergies for removing cards from the game, which I'm sure you're going to see in this deck. We have Bad News Bullet. 6 difficulty, 6 high for 6. That's a great stat line. Good block mod, +1 high. Stun 2, huge. And then Blitz, if your rival has 10 or less health, double this attack's damage. So if they're close to dead, they will be dead. This will swing for their life total. It has stun 2 on it. Very, very strong stuff. You get 2 of that. We got Science Bros. Science Bros is a 3/5 unique ally tech. This is the main synergy. After you remove 1 or more cards, your attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. So every time, every attack that you play, you're basically going to be removing a card. So this more than doubles the stats that Percival gives. So very important to the strategy. Something that you will see a lot of your games probably decided with these starter decks from whether or not you have a Science Bro. Quest board makes its way into this deck as well, as does the list. The list written on the gun here, one name for each chamber. After you play a ranged attack, it gets 1 speed or 1 damage, so you can shore up. You get 1 speed from Percival, 1 damage from the list. You get 1/1 from Science Bros. All of a sudden, you're giving 2/2 to everything, and that's much better than +3 damage to 1 attack a turn. So while Percival doesn't get like a big number, and he doesn't have the card advantage that Beauregard has, you're going to see a lot of ways for that tiny little +1 speed to actually blossom into really, really strong stats. So you're going to get 3 copies of the list. You'll get 3 copies of Alchemical Satchel Toss. Oops, sorry, it's coming off the screen. This is a 3-low for 5 with powerful 2. It's range tech weapon. After this attack is blocked, your rival commits 2 foundations. So we already have a stun 2 attack, but now we have an attack that basically does stun 2 if you want to block it, which is pretty nasty. Bang Bang, 4-low 4. If you have played another attack this turn, this attack gets +2 damage. Very solid stats there. Golem Beating, 5 high for 5. If this attack is not blocked, your next attack gets 3 speed. So things are going to spiral out of control if you don't have the right block zone or something like that. Merciless Lead. You get 2 copies of this one. 4 mid for 6. Choose any number of players, remove the top 2 cards of each of their decks. So not only can you mill your opponent out a little bit, but you can activate your own Science Bros by choosing yourself. Pepperbox Fire is a 3 difficulty, 3 high 3. If your rival has lost health this turn, this attack gets +2 speed. So probably not a great opener, but great late in a string. That's why it's a 3 diff. Tinker Shot. This is the big one. You get 4 of this. This is another +1 high block. It's a 5 high for 5. When this card is removed, your attack gets 1/1. So Science Bros will give it 1/1. This will give it 1/1 if it's the card that's removed. First of all, removing the card will give it another speed. And all of a sudden, you've got +3 speed, +2 damage. You're almost doubling the stats of some of these moves. So Blitz, remove 1 card from your discard pile, of course, to activate all the other Tinker Shots and Science Bros. Sean Gilmore is the backup here. He turns your character into a mage, and he commits to give your next check +2, which I believe has been widely regarded as the best backup in the set. So of the party backups, commit your next check gets +2 seems to be a favorite amongst most of the player base. Collecting components, Tenacious Sacrifice. This attack gets -2 speed. Very simple there. You commit it for an effect or to play cards, and then you can still sacrifice it to help you block. Electric Resilience, you commit, lose 2 health. This attack gets -4 damage. So good for beating attacks that might double themselves or, count to a specific number. Because you do have to lose 2 health, this does kind of come out to being -2 damage on an e-commit, which is interesting. If you gain life, though, you get the full benefit, right? Found Family. After your rival's attack deals no damage, your rival's next attack gets -2 damage, so even more damage reduction as a little bit of a sub-theme here. Imprisoned Noble. Your rival's attack gets -2 speed. If you have 15 or more cards in your removed pile, it gets -3 speed instead. Obvious synergy with Percival there. You're going to be removing for -1 speed on the rival's attacks, and then eventually this will commit for -3, which is super strong. Get 4 copies of that. Inspired Design. 4 copies here. Enhanced Flip. Look at the top card of your deck. Knowledge is power, and that's a very, very good piece of knowledge to have. What your next check is, what your next draw will be. Very good stuff. And then Deadlock Response. After you remove 1 or more cards, this attack gets 2 damage or -2 speed. So even more synergy late in the game there. Show Off is a 2/5. Once per turn, reveal the top card of your deck. So again, we're going with that deck knowledge sort of idea of the scientist, right? Tarot Reading. Name a card type, then reveal the top card of your deck. If the card matches the named type, add it to your hand. This is a functional reprint of a card that was too good as a 5 check, and I think as a 4 check, it's probably right where it needs to be. And then finally, we get 4 copies of Weapon at the Ready. You can commit this card, remove 3 cards from your discard pile, add a tech card from your discard pile to the top of your deck. So once again, knowing your next check, knowing your next draw, doing the science, doing the research to know what's coming up in the future to make an informed decision is a theme of this deck, and a very cool one at that. So both very cool decks. The art is absolutely stellar. I believe all of these cards you can find in the main set as well. So really a big part of this is giving you the quick and easy launch experience. These are great for kitchen table games. They're great to play against each other, and you get like the playmat and the quick start guide. I think is a big part of the starter deck experience, getting these mats to help people kind of understand what a game looks like, because people set up their gameplay area is different for every card game, right? And people set up their stage and where their character is very differently. And this kind of gives you a jump start on knowing how the vast majority of players do so, helping you keep track of all the zones and things like that. So it's very nice to have those little bit of extra things, right? The quick start guide is going to be really important for people who want to play the game and maybe you don't have a teacher or a demo nearby. You know, a lot of people get into the game from demos, but a lot of people get in the game from just walking through their local store and going, hey, I like Critical Role, I like card games, it'd be really cool to play one. So yeah, I think it's a very cool little experience you can get out of these. But as far as for collectors, they might, you know, I mean, I don't know, two Science Bros is a pretty good deal. You might be picking this deck up just to get two Science Bros. So there are some really nice cards in there, even if they're not 100% exclusive. Ooh. How do I open a... I've never actually opened a blister pack. I've never bought a blister pack at a store. Is there like a specific way you're supposed to open these? I guess like that? That works. Yeah. There's the Heroes of Exandria blister pack. Contains 11 Critical Role Heroes of Exandria CCG cards, including one character and one foil card. All cards are compatible with the entire universe's CCG. Minimum 60 card deck plus one character required to play. There's guaranteed foil. Oh, I guess rares are foil now. That's how much of an old head I am. Hearing one guaranteed foil did not immediately register to me as a guaranteed rare. But yeah, the rares are foil, so that makes sense. You're guaranteed at least a rare or above. I was thinking we went back to XRs. I kind of miss XRs, I'm not gonna lie. Foil variant of every card sounded like something people might care about. Though, then again, that's back when sets were like 120 cards, and the commons were often the best cards. Peaceful Rebuke. This card is crazy art. There's so much happening. If you have gained health, I'm not gonna read all these cards, am I? No, I'm probably not. But this one's neat. If you gained health, you get +2 speed. Heavy Kick, we already saw. Hammer Launcher, this is one of my favorite arts. Dude just getting yeeted into the sun. Revive Ally, okay, bringing people back from the discard pile. Powering the Blight Staff. Still don't know what a Blight Staff is. Still eager to learn. Healing Spell is a cool one. Our character is Pike Trickfoot, Ferocious Priestess. Enhance your turn, gain 1 health. Enhance if this attack's damage is greater than printed, it gets +2 or -2 speed. So very interesting little stuff. This character is very unassuming, but pretty powerful in the right hands. When the game goes long and you're playing a lot of low difficulty stuff, that health gain really adds up. And then, okay, I'm here for this one. We got a secret rare in our pack. We got Violent Animus Shot. This one is gnarly. It's a 4-diff 4-high-5. It has Breaker 1, which is cool. But it also has Blitz, Commit a Foundation, remove a backup from any stage. So you can remove your own if you want. If you did, you draw a card and this card gains Flash. But if you do it from your rival's stage, it just denies them access to their backup. So very cool stuff to flash this attack, because it also has response. After this attack deals damage, your rival removes 1 random card from their hand. So not only is it gonna get a card out of their hand one way or another, especially if you flash it, but the card on the response is random, which is an insane amount of disruption. So super stoked to get that one. One of my, legitimately, if not my favorite card from the set, my second favorite card for sure. Spirit Weapon Whirl, we got Undeterred and Joining the Fight, which is cool that there's like a thief ability on here. If you deal damage, thieves just get a whole bunch of speed from it, which is pretty nasty, because that means you already dealt damage, so your attacks are going to be even more unblockable because they didn't block before. And so for our second pack here, I should have kept track of how many cards like move to the front, but we'll see where we go. We got Ensorcelled Slash. That's a card I'm never putting in a deck because I don't want to say what it is. That's so hard to say. Ensorcelled Slash. I don't even know if that's how you say that. Weapon at the ready. Backstab. Okay, you can't, dude. You can't have a you can't have an RPG with rogues and thieves in it without a backstab card, right? Without sneak attack. Swift change. Okay, yeah. So the cards from the starter decks are in the set, right? Lightning Blade. Another Powering the Blight Staff. And oh, I skipped over the character, but it's not the Brave. Chaotic Meddler. But we got a UR here. Channeling Spell Seal. Look at that. Come on. We really, like I said, it's really gone to another level with the art in this set. These are the most beautiful Universes cards of all time. Like, actually not a joke. 4 high for 4. If your rival blocks this attack, seal their block. You can tell Showdown to stuff it. Your next attack gets 1/1. It's pretty simple. And then if it deals damage, draw a card. On top of that, it's also got Deadlock Stun too. So a solid 4 difficulty all around. A 4 high 4 it threatens to draw a card is pretty good. If it just drew a card, this would be an insane attack. But alas, we do have to deal damage. But we got an Ultra and a Secret Rare, so no complaints here, man. That is very good pools for exactly 2 packs. It really makes me wonder what the 3rd pack would have had. We would have had a Ultra Rare, Secret Rare, Chrome, right? That's what we're hoping for. But very cool stuff. Thank you again to Universes Games for sending these out. I had a lot of fun opening these. I know I'm going to have a lot of fun playing that Violent Animus shot because that has been a bit of a workaround, a build around attack for me for a lot of the decks I built as soon as the set was announced. But also, once again, please check out the Ace Arena. The sign up link will be down in the comments below. And I hope you guys had fun watching this. Oh, I should mention the mat. The mat was part of it. The mat was sent too. It's got Keyleth, Percival, and Pike. So it's kind of cool. We actually pulled, we actually opened like 2 of these characters on the mat. Didn't open a Keyleth, but oh well. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. It's been a lot of fun for me. I hope you had fun. Peace out.